U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders has called Henry Kissinger one of the most destructive secretaries of state in the modern history of this country. Kissinger most notably approved the carpet bombing of Cambodia around the 1970s. This bombing campaign led to instability, allowing Pol Pot's genocidal Khmer Rouge regime to commit mass atrocities. More recently, documents were discovered showing how Kissinger's close relations with Argentina prevented the U.S. from stopping mass killings in the country in the late 1970s. So we wanted to know, what other evidence has there been of the United States supporting genocidal regimes? Well, by 1979, the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia caused the deaths of an estimated 1.7 million people, roughly a fifth to a quarter of that country's population. After years of terror, Pol Pot eventually lost power and fled to the Thai border. However, according to journalist John Pilger, records from the Congressional Research Service suggest that the U.S. was secretly funding the exiled dictator. Between 1980 and 1986, some $85 million were allegedly sent to the border where Khmer Rouge leaders were hiding. Even during their reign, President Jimmy Carter's national security advisor was quoted as encouraging China to support Pol Pot, ostensibly in order to curb the influence of communism from Vietnam and the Soviet Union. Around that same time in Central America, Guatemala was undergoing a 3.5-decade-long civil war. During the war, General Efrain Rios Montt seized power through a military coup in 1982. During those 17 months he was in power, his regime was responsible for genocide against the indigenous Mayan Ixil population, who were suspected of supporting communism. This anti-communist stance led to U.S. and Israeli military and intelligence support of the dictator. The United States sent millions of dollars of military equipment to the genocidal Montt regime. The United Nations reports that throughout the war, as many as 200,000 people died, with about 93% of killings committed by the government. Roughly 80% of the massacres, sexual violence, death squads, and other criminal acts from this war occurred around the time of the dictator's brief reign. But the U.S. may have been most directly involved in genocide during the 1960s in Indonesia. A military coup by Major General Suharto led to mass killings in an attempt to stop communist influence. As many as 1 million people were murdered in 1 year by military and civilian death squads. Most documents on American involvement are still classified, but a director at the National Security Archive alleges that there is declassified information which shows that the U.S. provided economic, technical, and military aid during the genocide. Former CIA agents of the time have even admitted that they compiled lists of suspected communists for the Indonesian government, which were believed to have been used to track down and kill civilians. The CIA has officially denied involvement. United States foreign policy has had some unsavory ties to war crime, genocide, illegal invasions, and more. And as the huge archive of classified foreign policy documents in the 20th century slowly expires and becomes public, there will likely be further discoveries into the U.S.'s shady dealings. Even when genocides are public knowledge, it doesn't mean they're publicly acknowledged. Many people deny genocides, from the Holocaust to mass killings by the Ottoman Empire. So how is a genocide defined? Find out by watching this video. Many make a distinction between genocide and crimes against humanity. For example, in the Congo, one Rwandan Tutsi leader was nicknamed the Terminator for his mass killings of civilians and the recruitment of child soldiers. And yet, in the International Criminal Court, he was charged with crimes against humanity and war crimes, but not genocide. Thanks for watching Seeker Daily. Don't forget to like and subscribe for new videos every day.